gathering of Israel. Like, we are called to do it and to participate in it. Both sides of the veil. Like, that's like his number one message, right? So there's a lot. I think there's a lot we can relate to in the sentiment and in the spirit of the saints, that the work is still here and it's still the same. It just looks a little different.
Well, it really made me think about how, without even Joseph, maybe I can't speak for what he really understood or hadn't kind of perceived yet in what the Lord was doing. But for most of the saints, I don't think they had any idea or any concept of just how preparatory this event and this revelation really was for what the Lord was working in the cause of building Zion, right? I mean, this idea and this attitude of gathering the saints together in one place physically. I mean, it kind of starts in Ohio. Obviously, that has, massive ramifications later on down the road. But even more important, I think even deeper than that is, the Lord is kind of starting with the physical gathering of Israel here, so to speak, or physically gathering Zion all in one place. But what is that preparing the saints for? It's really preparing them for the spiritual gathering. That's even more, I mean, both are important. You need both, frankly, but even more, imperative is kind of that spiritual gathering of Zion that each of us can do in our day to day. Like, yeah, we all kind of joke about and talk about, man, it's going to be great when Zion physically is built once again and saints are being called to gather. Does that mean all saints in one spot? Probably not. But, it does show that kind of that spiritual gathering and building Zion spiritually amongst ourselves individually within our homes, as we keep talking about in DNC with our Come Follow Me this year. Like, that's really what the Lord is starting to prepare the people for. And this physical manifestation is just in preparation for where he's trying to get hearts and minds ready for the spiritual that's coming, obviously foreshadowing the temple and stuff that's going to be coming in Kirtland. But the point is, the Lord's always preparing. Like, there's going to be things that you are feeling inspired to do. You feel the Lord speaking to you about. There's going to be things that the prophet and the apostles are teaching. And on the surface, it's only going to seem like that inspiration only goes so deep. Generally, though, there's so much more down the road that the Lord has in mind that we just don't see. It hasn't really been revealed and illuminated to us yet. We got to keep going, keep moving forward. And that greater vision and plan the Lord has in store will manifest. And then you start to get a glimpse of, he really knows all. And he really is taking me to that promised land, so to speak, through the wilderness.
Well, so much that the Lord does is always preparatory. Like, there's so much foresight. And I mean, if you look at Joseph Smith's whole ministry, it was really all preparatory. Like, they didn't feel that way. Like, the saints, they felt that this was all happening now. Like, they felt the second coming was imminent, and they, gathering and establishing Zion. And then it didn't work out. And it's like, well, what's going on here? And in hindsight, we see all the puzzle pieces put together, and we realize, like, these were all preparatory efforts so that the doctrine, the revelations could be recorded, so that everything could be restored. Right? The doctrine was being restored. The commandments were being given. But the execution of those things takes time, because the real overall mission of the church, right? It's vast. Thank you for watching. If you found this content spiritually enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Like the gospel, these little things make all the difference, and it helps the algorithm push out better content for everyone to enjoy on YouTube.